Hi guys, alright, so today you need your sketchbook, an eraser, and a pencil. Okay, the first thing we are going to do is we're going to rip out a page from our sketchbook carefully. So I'm just going to kind of pull on the sides like this. Try not to go pull down on the page, you end up usually ripping it. So instead, pull out from your sketchbook and take one sheet, and you can put the other part of your sketchbook away for now. And then the next thing I want you to do is you are going to fold your paper in half hot dog style. Okay, so not hamburger style, but hot dog style. So taking the outside of the piece and folding it in half. And as long as you're close, try to match up your corners here. I'm going to hold with my left hand and kind of smooth out and crease my right side. So again, this is what I like to call hot dog style because it's more the shape of a hot dog bun versus hamburger style being folding in half this way where it's a little bit bigger and wider. Okay? So we have our hot dog style piece of paper. The next thing you're going to do is you're actually going to flip it over so that the crease side is on the left. I repeat, the crease is on the left. So the open part is on the right, kind of like a book or a pamphlet. Okay? You don't read your books this way, where you flip them this way. We read with our binding, our crease on the left, and the open part on the right. Okay, so what you're going to do is we are going to be using our knowledge of symmetry, and we're going to draw on the right side, okay? And we want to make sure that we are using our full paper for our practice. So we want to start with our head, and we're going to start at the top, and then we're going to work our way kind of down. But we want to make sure that we're not drawing super teeny tiny, and we're not drawing so big that we're going to run off the edge of the paper. Okay, so we are making mythical creatures, okay, like my Groot here. So you can have a robot, you can have a monster, you can have an alien. It's whatever you want it to be. It can be some sort of happy mix of all that's in between. So the first thing you need to know is that remember that this crease is going to be the middle of our body. So we're only drawing the right half of our creature. So everything we draw is going to get duplicated on the other side eventually. So I am going to draw sort of a simple shaped head. I'm going to do like a oval, almost like a half of a football. And that's going to be my head. You can choose whichever you'd like to do. It does not have to copy mine. Or if you're a little nervous about this, you can copy mine for the first time, and then you can practice one on your own later. Okay, so from our head, we need to have some sort of connection to our body. So we need a neck. So I'm going to make kind of a goofy neck. I'm going to make like a bubble neck like that. All right, and now we are ready for our body. And let's see, I want to make kind of like a triangle body. So our body is going to be our biggest section. So notice that I got pretty big here. Okay, and now I didn't really close it off yet because I can't quite decide what I'm going to do, but I'm going to start adding my arms and legs. Now, this is a creature, so humans have 2 legs and 2 arms, but creatures can have as many as they want to have. So I'm actually just going to make 1 leg, okay, and I'm going to make 1 fat leg, I think, and then I'm going to draw a big foot all the way to the edge of my paper like this. And then, let's see, I feel like I need some arms up here and maybe 1 down here. And you can add whatever kind of hands you want. They don't have to have fingers, they can have claws. Completely up to you and how you want to do it. Okay, so I've got a head, I've got a neck, I've got a body, I've got a single leg, and I've got 2 arms. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look and say, do I need to add any other details? I think I'm going to add a horn up here. Otherwise, that's it. We're going to keep it relatively simple. We're not adding anything inside here. No faces, no buttons, no sort of inside pieces. Because this is going to be the kind of the background of the body, you're going to get to add details on top later. But we want this to be just like the plain starting point for us. Okay, so we've drawn our character, right? So now the important part to do is to see, did it work? And will it function like a proper piece of symmetry. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to carefully cut around all my pieces. And I'm going to get rid of the bulk of my paper first, and then I'll go back in and cut out some of those details that I'm sort of skipping over. So I'm going to go around here. And notice that I'm using the inside of my scissors. This is the sharpest point of your scissors, is the interior part. This tip over here, it's not nearly as sharp here. So try not to use the tip of your scissors. Try to use the inside point of your scissors. And then my trick is that I keep my cutting hand, my right hand, pretty steady. And I'm going to rotate with my left hand and move the paper. So keeping your scissors pretty stationary, and just kind of like an alligator and chomp, 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 okay? And moving your paper hand, which would be my left hand, is the best way to cut. If you start turning your scissors, you can end up ripping your paper. So that's why you want to be very careful as you're cutting. And go slow when you get to those detailed areas. So I've got some details that I've got to cut out. Now notice that I'm cutting both sides of the paper at once. I'm keeping my paper folded. I didn't open it up. And I've got some, this gets a little tricky in here to do this interior part. So notice that all this isn't gonna matter. It's gonna get recycled. And I gotta be careful not to cut through these parts, right? I want to make sure I keep those connected. So make sure you make a mental note or use your eraser and erase out those connections so you don't accidentally slice through it. And if you do, that's the cool part about this project and practicing, is you've got plenty of other pages in your sketchbooks. So if you make a mistake, you can start again. All artists make mistakes. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. That's how we get better. So if it doesn't come out just how you want it the first time, no big deal. You can go ahead and make another one. All right, so I'm almost done finishing up those little bits in the neck. And then I've got a little bit in the bottom arm or leg area. So I'm going to kind of squeeze my scissors in there. Again, carefully cutting, not rushing this process. We don't want jagged edges. We just want nice, clean, smooth strokes with your scissors. All right, now I have to hold this really carefully. I'm going to hold it really tight so it's the two pieces stay together to do this last little claw, like so. All right. Okay. Oh, I forgot a piece up here. Same thing with the hand. I got to kind of hold it carefully. And I'm going to turn my paper as I go. All right, that's close enough. All right, so there is my creature. And drum roll. Here's what happens when I open him up. All right, I get a cool, symmetrical, robot, alien, creature type guy. And so here's what happens. So my one leg, my unileg, ended up with 2 feet, right? So because I added a foot on that one side, it's kind of got 1 leg and 2 feet, which is kind of neat. So that kind of shows you kind of your options that you can kind of create as you deal with symmetry. So again, if I close them up, you can kind of see where we started, see all the different drawing pieces, and then if I open it up, you can see where we finished. All right, so today is all about practice, and this is where we're going to stop for today. Nice job, everybody.